What is up, YouTube? So today we're going to go over this mini map. It's made by A2 Tactical. This little backpack slash mini map is amazing for a plate carrier or even as a standalone backpack. We'll get into all its functions and features, and what you could do with it is totally up to you. It's very modular, and let me show you all its features and get into this review. So the first thing I see right off the bat is the compression strap. So you have two compression straps, and the buckles are not loose as in when you press them, they don't just fall off. You got to really press down on them to get them to release, which is really nice. I've had some that basically what you do is just barely push down on it and they already pop off. That's no good. And also the attention to detail that they have is phenomenal. The multicam is in the direction that you would read it instead of being upside down. On the front side here, same thing. You have the multicam across the front and you could read it. It's not upside down. Okay, even on the inside here, it's facing the right way, which is really nice. Another thing is you have these keepers that slide really well on this 1-inch strap, and they're elastic keepers, so they stretch. Okay, one thing I could say about the keepers are the material used is not that cheap stuff where after a while it stretches out and it loses its retention. So I like that. And then the ends, they didn't just leave them cut straight, they actually folded them over so that way the keepers don't slide off. So that's pretty cool. Okay, usually on the mini maps, people mod the bottoms because the mini map is too large, and they want a smaller size pocket here as well as the overall length, so that way it sits on the plate carrier flush at the bottom. This one is perfect. Like, it'll sit on the back of a plate carrier and it does not hang off whatsoever. Okay, another thing is you got this big old Velcro patch area, or loop area, so you could attach the hook and loop to it. Of course, this is the loop area and your patches are the hook. And then you have these pull-ins, and it's basically your paracord stuff on these massive zippers, so you don't have to worry about it getting snagged. Okay, so the inside of the pocket is large. It's actually quite large. So if you look on the inside, you have all this room to store whatever it is you want to put in there, of course. And then on the front side, you have your molly webbing. It did not come with the shock cord. I wove that in myself, as well as the sides. It has molly webbing across here that I wove some shock cord in just to hold these out of the way when I don't need them. Okay. Another thing is with the front, you have on the top, you have those two large zippers, and of course this flap here to keep water out. So it's like a multi-weather flap just to keep water from going into your pack. Okay, so the inside you have, it's like a mesh netting, and this stuff is not that cheap netting. It's really thick and durable. You have this little area here where it's a Velcro loop that you undo, and then you could put your basically your hydration bladder or whatever it is you want to put in there, could go on this side. Okay, and then it's just a large pocket for whatever else you want to stick in there, whether it is your airsoft stuff or extra ammo for your guns. Okay, on the back side, you have, let me see, so you have these little slides for additional molly webbing to be strapped across, which basically is an open platform for whatever it is you want to hook up to these things, which I think is really cool because they didn't have to put those in. It's just an additional thing, right? On the top side here, you have an opening, a little slice in the actual material, and they have stitched all the way around it. So if you look right here, it's fully stitched, and that's cool because you can run your headphones or whatever, and you don't have to worry about this ever tearing or coming undone, and then you're screwed, because if that tore and came undone, basically all your material would just continue to rip. So it's cool that they housed it off with some nice stitching. Okay, and then of course on the back side you have more MOLLE webbing all the way across here. So A2 Tactical is right here. It says made in Taiwan. And then you have this pouch that you open up, so you could stuff things down in there as well. Okay, which if it's on a plate carrier, you probably wouldn't want to do that, because basically this is going to be on your plate carrier, so you would have to rip this back and really stick your hand down in there to get whatever it is you put in. But it's doable and it's an option. But what it's really made for are these MOLLE webbing straps. So this is MOLLE web, and basically what this is for, of course it has this little termination ends. You put this on your plate carrier and you could weave it through the MOLLE webbing on the back side of your plate carrier. As you weave it through your plate carrier, you also weave it through here. So you go in your plate carrier through here, in your plate carrier through here, in your plate carrier through here, until you weave this whole thing through. So it's cool because you got termination ends where you don't have to worry about stuff coming off, and it's double folded, so it keeps its integrity as far as the strap's concerned. So you can see that it has some thickness to it. Okay, so when you're not using these, you just toss them in here, and it's crazy the detail that they look at, because if you look closely at this, they only stitch it, the double stitch, all the way, or the double fold all the way to about right here, because they knew when you slide in these keepers, when you slide them in all the way to the back, they knew that it had to have play here to fold in really easily, or else it would be stiff and have a big old bulge up here, which tells me that they paid attention to a lot of the detail, and they knew what they were doing. Of course, your MOLLE webbing's all the way across here. One thing I do not like that I see is this larger MOLLE webbing loop here. So you have your typical 1 inch. They're a little bit larger than 1 inch, which is okay with me. But they have like this 2-inch gap here. I don't know if this is so that way you could add something else to it. I'm unsure. But typically it's a 1-inch gap that's designed on these MOLLE webbing bridges that go across. So when it's not on a plate carrier, you could whip out these straps here. So these pads do not come with it. I purchased them on Amazon, but they have 2 backpack straps that are fully adjustable, the clips and everything. You have this, I believe it's 1.5 inch MOLLE webbing here, and then you have your 1-inch MOLLE webbing here. Again, the details that they pay attention to, where the multicam is facing out, so when you're like that and it's around your back, you could read the multicam from the outside. And then you have at the bottom side of this, they finished the corners off with a hole, so this acts as a drain, and it's finished off so that way if it does begin to fray, it won't continue to go all the way up the bag. But when you add this to your plate carrier, you undo these clips here. So once you undo them, You take this and you fish them up through this hole here. So you push them all the way through here, the same with the other end, and they sit back here. Then you take this larger strap up here and then you tuck it away in this pocket again. The same way you would do for the when you add it to the plate carrier, when you put these in here. Okay, so all that gets tucked away really nicely. You have two little loops here, one right there, one right there, and then you have two drains, and they're large drains. So if you do put a hydration bladder in here, you don't have to worry about water pooling up in here. Same thing with this. If it rains or something and water does get in there, it'll drain out through the bottom. So overall, I think this is an excellent design the way it is. You get a lot of bang for the buck, and I believe this thing costs like $50. So for the price point, instead of modifying the larger ones and cutting the pockets and modifying the pockets so that way it sits shorter on your plate carrier, I don't know. I think hands down this is 2 thumbs up for me. I definitely recommend it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the future, definitely consider subscribing. That's going to complete today's video. Until next time, see you in the next one.